Here's a walkthrough of Level 3, Lesson 1. An example that shows how a student progresses through a lesson from start to finish. Every lesson starts with the new learning section, where we introduce the key concepts the lesson is built around. In Level 3, Lesson 1, we focus on two things: when the letter C makes its soft sound, and when to use C versus K in spelling. If you're curious about the rule, we default to Cool Cat C and switch to King K only when the next letter is E, I, or Y. Students learn these concepts through short videos, then move into a few quick exercises that reinforce what they just watched. From there, they try reading sample words that use the concept, and we review those words together. The new learning spelling section works the same way. Students revisit the spelling concepts they've just met, and we introduce a few sight words. Sight words are words that can't be decoded and must be memorized, and we usually introduce about 3 per lesson. Once the new concepts are introduced, students move into the activity section. This section changes from lesson to lesson. Starting in Level 3, we have 3 main parts: reading, spelling, and sight words. What makes this section special is that it's generated dynamically for each student. The program looks at the reading, spelling, and sight words a student struggled with in earlier lessons and brings those words back here. So every student gets targeted practice on exactly what they need. In the reading activity, students touch and say each word, blending the tiles as they go. In Level 3, we're still practicing touch and say blending. Syllable reading comes later in Level 4. If a student needs help, they can open the Word Helper, a pop-up they'll recognize from throughout the program. Inside it, they can tap each tile's individual sound, hear the word blended at a slower speed, listen to a short explanation of what the word means, and review any spelling rules that apply. This is one of the things that sets Reading Mountain apart. Every word is built structurally, so students can see how it's read or spelled and why. After reading, students practice spelling the words they found tricky. We show a small set of tiles and ask them to spell each word, a quick, focused way to reinforce it. In the writing portion of the activities, students write out sight words by hand, on the on-screen keyboard, or on a physical keyboard. Sight words are usually easier to read than they are to spell, so writing them helps build the mapping and lock in how they're spelled. Depending on the lesson, there may be other activities too. In this one, for example, students match words to the rules they've learned. Next, there's an optional library section, where students can read the books they've unlocked so far in this level. One thing that's unique about our books is that they're fully decodable. Every word is either one the student has already learned the rules for, or a sight word they've already been taught. Nothing in the book relies on guessing. We'll come back to it in a moment when we talk about books. From there, students play some optional games. In Level 3, the games get a bit more advanced. Here we have a bingo game and a card matching game, where students match cards to their sounds. These use words from earlier lessons, so the games are really another way to reinforce what students already know, just in a fun, interactive form. Now we get to the core of the program: reading, which is decoding, and spelling, which is encoding. Students start by reading with tiles. These words include a lot of what was newly taught in this lesson, mixed with words from previous lessons, about 10 words in all. As they read, our AI listens and tracks how they're doing. Students can review any word using the Word Helper. Next is tile spelling. Students spell about 5 to 7 words. The relevant rules are shown, and if a student is struggling, we give guided support based on the specific mistakes they're making. Each time they tap the spell checker, the program identifies their specific spelling mistakes and guides them in the right direction. After tile spelling, students move on to reading actual words, about 10 of them, similar to the tile words, but now shown as whole words. Again, the AI is listening to each one. Then students read about 10 sentences. If they stumble on a word, it's highlighted in orange, so they can review it and read the sentence again. And the full sentence is played back to them at the end. The word helper is always one tap away if they want to revisit anything. Next is the writing section, where students write a few sentences. They have a few options here. They can handwrite, use our customized on-screen keyboard, or type on a physical keyboard. Writing full sentences can be tricky, so if a student struggles with a particular word, the helper steps in to guide them through it. Finally, there's the books section. We include at least 4 books per lesson, and students read one to complete the lesson. They can always return to the library to read the others. When a student opens a book, they read it line by line, while the AI listens and helps, marking any words to review in orange. Once they've finished, we ask a few comprehension questions, which they answer in an open response. And when the lesson is complete, students get their reward. All lesson long, they've seen a drawing of a mountain peak at the top of the screen. Now the drawing turns into the real photo. In Level 3, Lesson 1, that peak is Richland Balsam, which rises 6,410 feet in the Great Balsam Mountains of North Carolina. With each completed lesson, students conquer higher and higher peaks. Meanwhile, the instructor receives an email report showing how the student did, with feedback on areas to work on, plus AI-generated insights to help guide the student going forward. The report also includes the student's book reading accuracy. This full report, along with some additional information, is also available on the instructor portal.